I could take
¡Tantos objetivos,
but
tan
no.
poco tiempo!
You will perish. I won't toy with you too much.
You grow more pathetic every moment that passes.
What's going on, guys? Boss Grell here with another Borderlands 4 video. Today I want to share Cowboy Rafa, which is another overpowered build which focuses mainly on Jacob's weapons. And what makes this build so overpowered is this build gives you 100% critical hits on all of your shots, and you'll pretty much just one-shot all bosses in the game, which is insane. And before we get into the build, please consider liking and subscribing if you find this guide helpful. And thank you in advance. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right into the build. Okay, so now going first with the skill tree. The action skill we're going to use is Peacebreaker Cannons, and for the augment we're using Instinto. Just mainly because so that our Peacebreaker Cannons can gain increased critical hit chance and action skill restoration for guaranteed 100% action skill uptime, which is nice. So, since we're limited to 49 skill points, I won't be placing any points on CTR for more gun damage. Instead, I'm gonna put it here on Shield Barriers. As you can see, it's an overdrive skill, shield recharge rate and recharge delay. I'll explain this later on why we need this on the gear. Next is 5 points on Huerga, so that whenever we critically hit an enemy, we restore our action skill duration every 4 seconds, which is nice. Next is 3 points on El Valiente. As you can see, Rafa deals increased damage from all sources. The fuller Rafa's shields are, the greater the bonus, and while Rafa's shields are at maximum capacity, double the bonus, which is nice. Next is 2 points on CYA. As you can see, it's a kill skill. Whenever we kill an enemy, we restore our shield, which is also nice for survivability. And we're gonna stop here first on the red tree, but we're not done here yet. Let's move on first with the blue tree. Since we're using a lot of Jacob's weapons, we need a lot of reload speed, so 5 points on rinse. And for the next 5 points, it do not matter where you want to put it, as long as we could get down here. So I just put it here on Preparado. Now, 5 points on Al Centro for another overdrive skill for gun handling. Unfortunately, I won't be placing points on first impression. As you can see, the first shot fired from a fully loaded magazine gains increased gun damage. Again, we're limited on skill points, and the reason why I place it here on Al Centro is because the class mod we're using is the Dancer, and this specific class mod gives me 4 points on Temerario. As you can see, another overdrive skill, more gun damage, however, negative gun handling, which is unfortunate. That's why I'd rather put it here on Al Centro instead of first impression. Alright, now moving on. 5 points on Brain Dump for critical hit chance, and this 15% could get up to 75%. And next is 5 points on El Soldado, another overdrive skill, more gun damage. And this gun damage also could get up to 150%, which is nice. And next is 5 points on Haki, so that whenever we damage an enemy with our action skill, we gain overdrive bonuses, and as you can see, a max sex of 20, so that's 50% overdrive bonuses, which is nice. Now, going back to the red tree, the reason why every single shot of our gun is really powerful is because of this skill, Vitriol. The first shot fired from Rafa's fully loaded magazine deals bonus corrosive damage. However, actually, a friend of mine told me he found out that this skill not only scale off your gun damage, but it actually also scales off action skill damage or skill damage, which is really nice. We can take advantage of Vitriol in a lot of ways. First is El Valiente. As you can see, Rafa deals increased damage from all sources. So this double dips Vitriol because El Valiente increases all sources, basically your gun damage and also your action skill damage, your skill damage. Uh, anyways, also your critical hit damage, so that's nice. So also, in order for us to increase the damage of Vitriol even further, is on our specialization, we're using I Am a Gun. As you can see, action skill damage now benefits from increases to gun damage. As you can see, 50% of increases to gun damage. And since Rafa has a lot of gun damage because of El Soldado, Vitriol will be even more powerful. Because of Al Centro. I'm sorry, El Soldado. Okay. Now, going back to Brain Dump. As I've said, Brain Dump could get up to 75%. But in order for us to get 100% critical hit chance is the class mod we're using. I'm sorry, the enhancement that we're using is this specific Jacob's enhancement. As you can see, it has a piercer mod. Guns with Jacob's licensed parts have a 20% chance to grant a critical hit. So that's 75% plus 20%. So that's a total of 95%. And for the remaining 5%, we're getting it from this specific spec, which is a honed mind. As you can see, action skills gain a chance to critically hit enemies, and the critical hit chance is 5%. And as I've said, Vitriol scales off action skill damage. So that's where we're getting the remaining 5%. And as you can see, a honed mind also gives you critical hit damage of 50%, which is insane. So that also scales off Vitriol. Okay. Oh, I'll just place Instinto here. So again, I'll just show you. Let's try and shoot some mobs here.
This is where the magic happens.
Let's just get the max stats of Haki and kill an enemy. Okay, so oh, by the way, as you can see on the Dancer class mod, overdrive bonuses are increased by 100%, which also helps. So as you can see here on Brain Dump, 75% critical hit chance, plus 20% from the Piercer mod of our Jacob's enhancement, plus 5% in a honed mind. So that's 100% critical hit chance guaranteed. Alright, now moving on to the gear. Basically for mobbing, I love the Hot Slugger. I love using it. I basically one-shot all mobs with it. Also the Hellwalker, it's really strong. Even the Valor, it's also pretty strong. For snipers, I also like using the Boomslang or the Ballista, but whenever I shoot an enemy, I have to reload so that we can always take advantage of Vitriol. And for bossing, you only need one weapon, which is a spread launcher. I only have two just because there are some bosses that has two phases. For example, the Timekeeper, which has the first phase and the second phase. And by the way, speaking of bossing, as you've noticed on the first part of my video, I do not shoot the boss right away. I let my Peacebreaker cannons shoot the boss for a few seconds, so that we can take advantage of the max stacks from Haki. So as long as we get a max stacks of 20 from Haki, that's when that's the time I shoot the boss. All right. Now, going back to the gear, for the rep kit, we're using a mini triple bypass with an amp augment. As you can see, on use, grants increased damage of the next shot by 200%. And for the ordnance, it do not matter. You can use whatever ordnance you have. You don't need them. For the class mod, again, a dancer. Preferably with 1 point on Temerario. Soltado, so that you won't have to go down further here. Okay. And next is for the shield, we're using a Watts for Dinner. It's not really important. Any amp shield is fine, as you can see. I have an amp augment here. When energy shields are full, shots drain 35% of those shields for 150% gun damage. And that's the reason why I've placed 5 points on shield barriers instead of CTR for more shield recharge rate and recharge delay. So that also 2 points on CYA, so that we can take advantage of the amp from our shield all the time. Alright, and again, for the enhancement, we're using any Jacob's enhancement is fine, as long as you have the Piercer mod for that bonus 20% critical hit chance. Alright, and since we're dealing 100% critical hit chance, it is important to have 3 points on Deadeye for more critical hit damage, for more one-shot one-shot bossing potential, and also 2 points on Trick Shot for more critical hit damage, and also 5% reload speed, which is nice. Okay, now again for the specialization, we're using I Am a Gun for action skill damage, a Honed Mind for action skill critical hit chance and critical hit damage, and for the third one, I just place it in the zone, so that whenever we aim down sights, we get more gun damage and critical hit damage. But if you don't like aiming down sights, you can maybe switch this to Bullet Train for more gun damage. And of course, next is now with Caffeine, so that whenever we pop our rep kit, we gain action skill cooldown reduction. Whenever, just in case our action skill goes on cooldown. Alright, so that's it for the build. So if you find this guide helpful, please consider liking and subscribing, and hit that notification bell for more videos to come. And you guys have a good day. Bye bye.